So, good day everyone. I am Windy and I will be discussing the elements that are present in the story Once Upon a Time by Nadine Gordimer. So, at the end of the discussion, you are able to know the elements that are present in the story and how it was presented by the author of the story. So, without further ado, let's begin. So the first element that I will be discussing is the characters. And the first character is the narrator. This is the woman writer and the protagonist of the first part of the story and the narrator of the second part of the story. And like the couple in the story, the narrator lives in apartheid era South Africa. So because of her fears, and so she started telling a bedtime story, which is the second part of the story. The next one is the man or the husband, one of the protagonists of the second part of the story, and he is the husband of the woman and the father of the little boy. The third one is the woman or the wife. Together with her husband, she built a barrier or the walls that they think will secure them from the riots outside. And the next one is the little boy or the son. He is the only child of the couple. And the little boy is largely oblivious to his parents' safety concerns throughout the story. So this will be discussed on the second part of the report. And then the next one is the housemaid. It works for the family at their upscale house in the suburbs where only white people are allowed to live. And according to what I have searched, she is a black African. So the last one is the husband's mother or the wife's mother-in-law. She is referred to a wise old witch throughout the story. It is basically the antagonist in the story. However, the narrator used the word wise, meaning the mother is brimming with advice. When she appears in the story, it's to remind the couple to further insulate themselves from the outsiders. So it is like she pushed them to fear more about the outsiders. So the next element of the story is the setting and the conflict. Basically, the place of the story is in South Africa and the time is during the apartheid system or the policy of the racial segregation. Yan. And the conflict of the story is between the need people have for safety and security and the reality that building walls can keep them safe. So the theme of this story is likely statements against the fear and cruelty and social injustices associated with racial segregation or the apartheid system. And also, it is the fear for the other. In addition to that, Gordimer have experienced the apartheid ruling system in the South Africa, and she used Once Upon a Time to express fear and anxiety she had and others felt during that time. So let us proceed to the next element, which is the symbolism that are found in the story. And the first one is the wise old witch or the mother-in-law, and it symbolizes the political regime that promotes the apartheid. So, as what have mentioned in the story, the mother-in-law pushed the couple to fear more about the outsiders. The next one is the barriers, which the couple have built that symbolizes how fear produces isolation, and that creates a prison for the one who fears. And the next one is the cat. It represents the creeping fear of the other that cannot be resolved. In the story, it pressed the alarm that triggered the family. Next is the burglar alarms. These are the most known for going off without any good reasons. It shows that the fear of the family has of people of another color, and it's nothing but a false alarm. And the last one is the sun. Stands for the future which the parents have sacrificed because of their fears. In the story that we will be discussed later, we will know the fate of the son. And the last element of the story that I will be discussing in my part was the point of view. In the story, we have two point of views, which are the first person and the third person point of view. And the first person in the first part is the writer, and in the second part of the story, it turns to be a third person because the writer started to tell a story or a bedtime story, which is the story of the family. And that is the end of my report in my part. So the next part will be discussed by Shunapate Villarico.